Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to yet another reaction video. If you're new here for the very first time, my name is TMR, and over here we talk reactions and reviews. What's good, everyone? How's everyone doing? I hope everybody is a-okay. And now that I got your attention, make sure before you leave this channel you subscribe to it, and most definitely make sure you click the notification bell, because they do go hand in hand. So therefore, every time I drop a video, you'll be the first one to know it. So look, everybody, I need help, okay? So let me tell you, I'm on my way to the grocery store, y'all, because you know, we're out. Like, this is for real. We out, and I most definitely do have my mask, okay? I got my little mask, and y'all, I pray this ain't the new normal, okay? Because, you know, I have seen a lot of videos and things on Instagram where people got these real snazzy, jazzy masks on, you know, and they look cute. But yeah, I really don't want that to be a part of my outfit, okay? Like, I got my cute outfit on, check. Got my cute Louis, check. Got my phone, check. Got my cute mask, okay? Anyway, y'all, so look, I need some help. So I got a phone call today from my son's school, right? And it was the counselor, okay? So she was basically calling to say, hey, you know, we're checking in. We noticed there's a couple of classes your son hasn't signed into. So I'm like, what? So I go to him and I'm like, pull up your e-learning thing. Let me see what these people talking about, right? Because I give my son is in high school, okay? He's a freshman in high school, and so I give him a time to do his work. So I tell him he needs to do his classwork between 10 and 2, right? So I give him enough time in the morning to get up, get himself dressed, eat, get all his little, okay, to really make him aware of, okay, now it's time to work. Because although you're not in a school setting, like, we still have to imitate that like we are, right? So on the school my son goes to, they basically are saying that they need to work on a 4-day module, right? 4-day school week, and they use Friday to catch up, right? So things that you need to catch up on. I already turned this heat on, y'all. It's cold, y'all. It's raining. So if y'all hear that in the background, y'all, it's raining, and I'm not okay. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, you know, and for the most part, it's taken us a little time to get used to, you know, going to school online or homeschooling or whatever. It's getting us we're getting used to doing this. And so when I get the call today from the counselor and I have my son pull up and I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah. So it was like 2 classes. It was like his computer science class, and it was another class. I can't think of it right now, y'all. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, so why haven't you, you know, been doing your work in there? And he was like, oh, well, that's my elective. Oh, PE. It was computer science, PE, and his English class, okay? So my son hates English. Like, I get it. I didn't like English when I was in school either. But at the end of the day, I knew that was something I had to do, so I did it, right? So I explained to him, you know, many times before, school is all what you make it. I do understand going to school online is difficult. You've never done that before, but you know, it's basically our normal right now, so you got to get with the program. So I was able to get the information that I needed to get him back on track on those classes, right? So I went into my bedroom and I was talking to the counselor, and I was like, look, you know what? Like, I understand that, you know, nobody was really prepared for what is happening now in our country, but you know, you guys calling us and emailing us, telling us what our kids are not doing, but not one time have you, the school, well, not you, but the school board, the entity, have you guys ever realized just like this is something new to you guys, it's most definitely very new to us. And what you got to understand is, and I feel like some of y'all out here can relate to that, you have a lot of parents that are single parents, right? And not only do they have children at home, but they have children of different school groups. Like they got probably a second grader, a sixth grader, and a 10th grader, right? So that's 3 different age category or 3 different grade categories that you got to navigate through. Some parents are working from home as well. So not only are you trying to keep up with your new way of working from home, but now you also got to incorporate your children and their learning, right? That's a lot. I said, there's a system that my son uses for e-learning, and I'm familiar with it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't use it because I've never had to use it. And I told her, I said, you guys basically told us what to do, and then that was it. There was no instruction. You call in the house, they call my phone a couple times a week, emails of telling us what we need to be doing, but nobody's never instructed us how to do it. There's no support system. I said, when the kids were in school, you guys always are asking us to support the children, support the teachers, to help the teachers, us as parents to help the teachers, help the children. But there's no support for us, the parents, now that we're at home and we're being teachers. I said, you do have to understand, I don't have a degree in teaching, right? I don't have a degree in math. I don't have a degree in English. I don't have a degree in science, social studies. I'm just a person who knows how to read and write, okay? Thank God I do have a level of intelligence, and I'm the type of person that I'm a critical thinker, and what I don't understand, I will figure out a way to understand it. But what about the parents who educational level is not comparable, right? Or up to standards? Because there is a lot of parents who probably didn't graduate high school, or graduated high school but really struggled, right? And haven't been in school in 20 years, and now you're asking them to be teachers, right? Now, and like I explained to her, I said, school has been out for a month. Yeah, a month, right? Although in the beginning of this situation, you guys were not prepared, but surely after a month of probably constant meetings with the school board, teachers, staff, and stuff like that, you guys should have somehow came up with a plan. Obviously, you have came up with some type of plan, because you have packets that you, in my school system, the kids K through 8 have packets, right? That they can use to help them go through their weekly assignments. But kids are in high school, everything is on this website that they have to go to navigate it. I said, now at one time, have you guys did any type of tutorial to help parents navigate through these systems? I said, and not only that, what about the parents who can't afford internet or didn't have internet? Now, I do understand there a lot of the cable and internet providers are supplying free internet, but again, like I said, you have to have everybody on board on the same page in order for something to work. I said, and you guys are wanting us to support these children, but you're not giving us the support to support the children. You're asking us to become professors and instructors and educators literally overnight. Y'all, when I tell you, when I finished talking to that woman, honey, we was like homegirls. Because she was like, you know what? Out of all the parents I've talked to, she said, your conversation has been the most compelling. Because she said, you have stated some very valid facts. I said, of course they are. You're asking kids to basically to become mature overnight, right? Because we do understand a lot of the kids don't have that level of maturity, because you have to be very disciplined to go to school online. It's basically like teaching yourself. And a lot of these kids don't know how to do that, or don't have what about the children that have ADHD? What about the children that have learning disabilities, right? And us as parents, we're supportive, but we're not trained to help kids like that. Now, my situation, one of my sons did have a severe learning disability. So I'm very diverse in how to help a child that has challenges with schooling. When I was a foster parent, I had several kids that had a lot of learning disabilities. And I was able to help them because I was a parent who had already experienced that. But what about the parents, although they do know their child has a learning disability, but then y'all, you got to understand your kids is going to school for 8 hours, 7, 8 hours of the day, you know, and there are people who have been trained and have a degree in order to help those children with those type of issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot. And so I asked the teacher, I said, so what about, you know, doing some type of at least 2 or 3 times a week where the teacher of English, math, science, whatever, do a Zoom twice a week where you are standing in front of a camera and you're instructing to the whole classroom, even though they are in other locations, right? But to me, that would make better sense instead of saying, hey, go read this. Hey, go watch this video. Because yes, you want the children to try to learn how to do that, but you have to have some type of instruction. That's why when you have a child in college and they're doing a lot of online schooling, they have already been through 12 years of schooling and they kind of got that concept down pat. But now you're dealing with children that's in elementary, middle, and even high school that haven't developed the common knowledge to do that because they haven't been trained to do that, right? Now, that's my thought. That's my thought. That's my opinion. And I said, you know, when she did say to me that they have meetings a couple times a week. I think she said like twice a week. And she said she most definitely will bring my argument up in the next meeting because it's I made a lot of valid points. I said, yes, of course. Like, you know, so I asked her, I said, so what's the plan for the next school year, 2021 school year? She said, I'm going to be very honest with you. I have no idea. And her as a counselor, she said, we have not been privileged with that information yet, but because we just don't know. She said, we're literally taking things day by day. And I said, you know what? I get that. I understand that. I would think the school system, a big entity like that, just like the federal government, should have been or would have been somewhat prepared for a possible pandemic, right? In a situation where if people cannot come to school, then there is a way, especially now in 2020, where there is a way that children can be instructed in all age categories, all age groups, all school grades. They will be instructed and know how to, you know, be taught to go to school online. I said, or even if by this time already a month out, and I'm pretty sure you guys are taking the data because that's how you were able to call me to tell me that he hasn't done certain things in certain classes, that you guys should be compiling data. You have a large group of kids that are complying at 50%, then obviously there's a problem there. Maybe they don't have the technology to be participating in e-learning, or maybe there's a lack of knowledge or know-how or whatever. But it's been already a month into this, you would think, well, maybe we need to reach out to parents or send a mass email and say, hey, if you are a parent that needs, assistance on how to navigate the child's e-learning website, please, we're going to have a class on this date, and leave the hyperlink in the email where, call us, right? And send out a mass phone call. Like, start doing things like that. Like, at the end of the day, you guys have to support us to support these children. Y'all, I know that was really long, y'all, but like I told y'all, I was really frustrated with that conversation because I'm just like, you keep sending me all these emails telling me what he isn't doing, but you're not telling me what I can be doing to ensure that he is successful in this whole online thing. Like, I get everybody's at home and basically you are putting, and you know what? A lot of this needed to happen. A lot of parents that don't even know their teachers' names, or whatever, we do understand that is going on. So this right now, if it doesn't do anything, it forces you to be more interactive with your child and what they are learning. When my kids were much younger, like when they were in grade school, yes, I was very much into all that they needed to do. I was at the teacher conferences and the PTA. I did PTA for like 2 years. I didn't do it a lot because I was working. It was too much. But I did do PTA for 2 years. But once my kids got to high school and I felt like they were able to navigate a little bit more independently, and of course, because I've always been very hands-on with my children had the knowledge to know if I'm in trouble, then I know I need to go to my mother and let her know that, or I need to go to my father and let him know that. You know, really, when it comes to school, y'all, I'm the one that kind of handles all that, because I'm the one that's the better communicator than my husband. You know, I have more patience than he does. He doesn't have any patience, right? So I am the one that handled all that. So once my kids got to high school, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I didn't know all their teachers' names because they were changing classes. So, you know, high school, you change classes a lot. So yeah, I didn't know all their teachers' names. I'm gonna be very honest. But most definitely when they were in grade school and even in middle school, I was, very in tune to what was going on. And when they got to high school, I was in tune, but I wasn't as hands-on as I was when they were in, primary and middle school. So y'all let me know what you guys are doing with your situation and your kids going home from school. I do understand it's a lot of pressure for a lot of parents right now. You guys, like, this was just thrown into our laps and we didn't have any forewarning that this was going to happen. And it's so long that it's happening. And then unfortunately, you guys, right now for the school year 2021, we don't know what's to happen, because social distancing is going to have to happen for quite some time, especially until they come up with a cure for COVID-19 or coronavirus. Until they come up with a cure, social distancing is going to be a practice not only in the school system, but a lot in the workforce. It has to, because they have to be able to do contact tracing, like all that. Until that's more understood how to do that, we're going to have to practice social distancing for quite some time. Like, you guys, that's probably going to be our new normal. But you guys let me know down in the comments what you think about that. And, let me know how you guys are dealing with your homeschooling situation, and what are some tips. If anything, leave those comments down below so you can help other moms and dads that's coming to the channel for the, for the videos, for the reaction videos or whatever. And if you guys can say something, and maybe you guys can, form a conversation down below. You never know. You might be a person that's on social media, and your kid and somebody else that commented on the video, y'all might be in the same school system. You never know. And maybe you guys can become a support system for each other. I think that's what should happen right now. Parents collectively need to probably start, forming their own support system. There are homeschool support systems, and I think those that were already in effect probably should just open their doors up to now all parents, because all parents now are just homeschooling, not just selective parents. But again, y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get to the last part of our video. We're going to go ahead and go on to our reaction. I'm not going to make this video very long. I did want to talk about that at first, because I feel like that's more important than the little gossiping we do, y'all. That's just what, we're going to gossip a little bit about what's going on these YouTube streets, and then we're going to go on about our business, okay? So, you guys, today I got a DM for one of my really, really good subscribers. She's been with me since I started here on YouTube. Hey, girl, hey, you know who you are. And she, put me up on game or something. So she saw my video yesterday about StrongMommy Chrissy, and I was talking about the video that StrongMommy Chrissy did about the Easter video when she was driving down the street, and you can see her surroundings. Well, my subscriber ran across a video where the person has a channel, right? Y'all, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what that channel name is. I don't remember, okay? Right now, off the top of my head, I don't remember what the channel name is. But she sent me the channel name, and I went and looked at the channel, and you guys, this person did like a 3-minute video of basically filming where StrongMommy Chrissy was at in that video. So the person said in the video that their family lives in the area that StrongMommy Chrissy lives in. And you guys, when I tell you, they showed the Walgreens she went to, they showed the stop sign she was at. I guess she stopped it. I didn't pay that much attention, but I guess in the video she stopped at a stop sign, or maybe, and when she was either leaving the Walgreens or going to the Walgreens, one of those two. They showed the stop sign. They showed, like I said, the straight blueprint of StrongMommy Chrissy's whole route. And then, you know what? I'm sitting here watching the video, and I was like, wow. Now, I don't think that person really meant anything by it other than this, okay? I think this is why people make such a big deal, or have been making such a big deal about if Strong Mommy Chrissy lives in Houston or Austin. And really, to be honest with you, where the woman lives obviously is not a big deal, but she made it a big deal when she basically was like, I'm leaving my location secret, or when she said, I'm living in Austin, but most definitely we knew you was going to living in Houston, because it only made sense. It only made sense for her to be residing in Houston or the surrounding area. You know, if you know anything about Houston, you know there's a lot of suburbs outside of Houston, and obviously that's where Chrissy lives. She lives in the suburbs. And if Chrissy would have Chrissy tells so many fabrications on her videos, and you know, again, we would assume that they're fabricated, because like I said, you guys, what Chrissy has to understand is when she says things, she has to understand that there are people who are critical thinkers and are mature, and they would just listen to what she has to say and like, okay, yeah, that don't make sense, right? So, and because she has told some lies, okay, on her videos, the people are so into debunking Strong Mommy Chrissy. It's just like, it's unfortunate that happened, but that's kind of what she did to herself, right? My personal opinion, you guys, and again, this is my opinion, you most definitely probably will have a different one. My opinion is, when Strong Mommy Chrissy decided she was going to relocate to Texas, most definitely just said, hey, you guys, I'm moving to Houston, Texas. And that's it. No other conversation needs to be had, right? We don't need to know the suburb. We don't need to know the street. We don't even need to know what school your kids are going to. But like I said, you got to understand, Chrissy has a big channel. She, like I said yesterday in my video, if you didn't see that video, go back and watch it. But like I said in that video, she has a strong following on social media. So you would think, Texas being the biggest state in the United States, obviously she's going to have a very high presence in the state of Texas, because Texas itself is such a large state. So for you to be filming and driving down the street and showing the area of where you're at, you got to understand that people are watching your video, and especially if they live in that city, of course they frequent that area a lot, and they're just like, oh, you're at the Walgreens on 66th and 3rd Street. Because y'all, think about it. For most of you guys that's watching this video, when you guys go shopping, for the most part, you shop in the area that you live in, right? Now, some of you are going to come in the comments and say, no, I shop 2 cities over from where okay, well, baby, you're a rarity, because most people shop in the area they live in. If you live on the east side of town and you need to go to Walmart, yeah, you're not going to travel to the south side 25 minutes away from your house just to go to Walmart, right? You're going to go what's the most quickest and convenient to you. Or most people, when they're shopping and they're working outside the home, they shop in the area that they're working, because it's more convenient to stop by the grocery store when you get off of work, or go pick up something on your way to work, right? So for her to say, I'm going to Walgreens, you would just automatically assume that more than likely you are going to the Walgreens that's near your home. Because who's going to the Walgreens 2 cities away? I passed 80 Walgreens in the process of trying to go to a Walgreens, right? So if you say something, now, if you're saying I'm going to the mall, right? Well, it's highly likely that you're probably not going to the mall in your neighborhood, because most people don't have a mall on their side of town. They might have to travel to the other side of town to go to the nicer mall. You know, a lot of us can say that. So that situation, just if you end up at Lenox Mall, that doesn't mean that you necessarily live in Buckhead, because you're going to Lenox Mall, because Lenox Mall is not, you know, it's not, everybody doesn't live in Buckhead, okay? If you know anything about Atlanta, Lenox Mall's in Atlanta. If you know anything about Atlanta and Buckhead, it's very expensive to live in Buckhead, right? But Lenox Mall is a mall that a lot of people go to, and just because you're at Lenox Mall doesn't mean you live around the corner, right? So when you talk about malls, you could probably assume that if somebody is at a mall, more than likely they don't probably live down the street from that mall, because they probably like that mall because it has a better variety of things. But y'all, I'm just like, girl, at some point you got to stop being so it's either she being dumb or she just doing this on purpose. Because like I said, y'all, when she edited, if you are really very if you are really that adamant about trying to keep your location quiet, you know, you wouldn't always make your location so obvious. Like if you're in the car and you're on the way to the store, you're not going to say, I'm getting ready to go to Walmart on 53rd and Lexington. You know, you're just going to say, hey, you guys, I'm on my way to the store, blah, 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 and then talk about what you're wanting to talk about, right? But when you're pinpointing your locations and then you're driving in a car and people see the aerial of where you're at, like, baby, you don't even got to be super intelligent to put 2 and 2 together and know that 2 and 2 makes 4, you know? But again, you guys, StrongMommy Chrissy, I really feel like a lot of what she does is for attention. You do understand on social media, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody wants attention if you're on social media, because that's what social media is about. It's about getting attention. But I think StrongMommy Chrissy warrants the wrong attention because of her approach. The way she approaches her channel and approaches her content, it just makes her, she's very interesting because she is a mom of 9 kids. And so people are very intrigued with that. So people are more intrigued to find out more about her. And I know that's hard for her. And, you know, it would be hard for anybody like that, you know. But I just think that if she's not doing this on purpose, not purposely trying to give people hints of where she is so she can have people chattering about her, like you shouldn't want that unwarranted attention. At the end of the day, you should just want the attention of people just coming to watch your video just to see what you're doing in the video, not where you're living, how your house look, how your car look, how much money you got in your bank account. Yeah, just people, especially on YouTube, they don't really care about all that. They just trying to see the next cooking video, the next prank, or the next reaction. Yes, y'all. So that's why I said in my video a while back when she did the whole truth video about her eviction situation, my personal opinion is that StrongMommy Chrissy, her intentions was always to go to Texas, right? And my personal, again, y'all, this is just an opinion. I believe that in the beginning of the year, she probably had already, you know, reservations of moving to Texas, and maybe she just conveniently didn't pay her rent that month, which not paying your rent is not convenient, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to say it in the nicest way possible, that she conveniently not paid her rent because she knew ultimately she wanted to relocate from Vegas. Texas probably is a better opportunity for her. And I said that before, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers in Houston, and Houston is a good city to get things popping for you. If you're doing hair, if you're in the healthcare industry, social media, it's just a lot popping in Houston. So I could see her going to Houston more so than Austin, because Austin is kind of it's a college town. Yeah, there's not a really lot going on there. It's kind of more homely. Houston is it's a lot going on in Houston, okay? Houston is much more popping than Austin is. Although Austin is a nice city, but it's just more reserved than Houston is. So when she did that video and she talked about, you know, leaving Vegas, and she said that the house that she was applying for, somebody sabotaged and she didn't get it. My personal opinion is that there was never a house that she was going for in Vegas. It most definitely always was a house in Houston. I do believe that she did apply for an initial house in Houston and they denied her. And that was the video when she said the subscriber sabotaged her moving into a home. I really feel like that first house that she went for in Houston, that she didn't get it, probably because of credit reasons. And so, and again, y'all, Chrissy has to make things appealing for the public view. So she put on the title the whole subscriber thing, because if you really think about it, once you watch the video, she never really says a subscriber. She says someone. She says in the title subscriber because that was to get you to click on the video, but she never said subscriber out her mouth. She just kept saying someone, right? And my personal opinion is that the house that she was trying to go for initially in Houston, like when she went on the Houston momcation, that was really a trip for her to find her a home. And she applied for a home while she was there, and she found out once she was back in Vegas that she didn't get the home, right? So initially when she said she was gonna be able to, you know, move in that Monday. Remember she said that Monday? Well, that's probably when she found out that she didn't get the home, and then she had to hurry up and try to find her another home in Houston. So again, y'all, my whole thought is she needs to be more careful with the things that she say and how she say it. That's my personal opinion. Of course, Chrissy can do whatever the hell she wants to do. It's her business. But I would think because she is a mother of so many children and her first priority should always be the safety of her children and herself, I would just be more cautious when you're out vlogging. Okay? All right, y'all, I'm out. That's all I had to say. I need to run into the store. It's raining and your girl, y'all, I'm hungry. Okay? I'm starving to death. All right, y'all. Until the next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Remember, sub what you love. Bye-bye.